Come on in the room. Oh God. Come on in this room. Whoa, ho. Y'all are my friends, and we got to ride this story, and we got to get on in the room. Whoa. Come on in this room. How y'all see? Conjured up. All right, conjured up. How y'all doing this morning? Yes, Lord. This is Monday. We got to discuss weekend. And of course, once again, the big story is the person calling himself Bishop Whitehead. So I guess now he said he received 2 PhDs in one day. So now he's Dr. Bishop Whitehead, senior overseer. I don't know, child. These people need to see psychiatrists is what needs to happen. But let's follow it up. So we all know about the drama that occurred I hope that we do. The drama that occurred this weekend on Sunday, where there were 2 women in Bishop Whitehead's church. They were apparently being disruptive. One was filming, and the other one, we don't know if she was conjuring up spirits or she was rebuking the evil spirit over the house of God, or what she was saying. Her voice was not clear, but they saw her as being disruptive. First, Bishop Whitehead, I call that man a bishop, Mr. Whitehead. First, he sees her in the back of the church. She's doing something back there that catches his attention. He said, "Well, come on up. You want to preach? Come on up to the front, right?" So I guess he changed his mind, because when she does get to the front, as she's passing in front of his little makeshift stage there, he grabs her in her throat, back of the neck. This part of the hand would be on the throat. The way he grabbed her, very violent. The way he grabbed her, that became the story, right? On yesterday. So then, as I'm just kind of browsing around, watching things, I said, well, it's obvious. Later on that day, he came on and he said, first thing out of his mouth was that King Jives and Larry Reed had sent these people to his church. Now, he didn't use their names. He said they were insignificant people, although I would venture to say that their numbers usurp his. But he seems to think they're clout chasing off of him, this unknown pastor in the storefront church, which is not even a storefront. A storefront implies that you're on the first level and you have the whole building. No, this is just a person who has a pop-up church on Sundays. He says they're clout chasing off of him. But more importantly, he suggests without naming them, that they sent these people to his church. So then I said, well, that's obviously stupid. Why would they say, ain't nobody that invested in Whitehead, surely, right? So in the evening, I'm over there on Jive's page, and these people are saying that they do know King Jives. And I believe they watched Larry Reed as well. And these women did go there to apparently record or disrupt his service. Right? So then I said, oh, shit. Now they're going to throw a monkey wrench into my story. My coverage is obviously biased. I don't like him. I don't like his style. I don't like what he's up to. I see him as a con man, right? But are they saying that these people actually did come to his church to disrupt the service? Well, the bottom line, people, is this. If they came there to be disruptive or not, as long as they're not carrying hammers and hatchets, he still has got no right to put his hands on those people. So I don't know why the scuttlebutt now is they kept the woman for disrupting his service, but excused him for assaulting her. We don't know. He says he's friendly with the police there. He ran for a borough president or whatever. We don't know what's going on in Brooklyn, really. But it's still strange, man. Even if these people did come and cause a ruckus in your church. I don't know how much ruckus there could really be, though, because I got to tell you this. I've been giving that man way too much credit. I've been saying that he's got 25 people in his church. Now, granted, there might have been 25 acrylic chairs there, but I saw video footage coming from the back of the church. There were no more than 10 people in that building. Imagine preaching a sermon in front of 10 people, right? So I don't know how much ruckus they really could cause with amongst these 10 people who are going to obviously believe him. Maybe some of them are family members. So you got to X out. You got to say, well, probably he's got his cousin or his brother there or somebody like that. A lot of these storefronts start off like that. They have just a few family members. So if you just took out, let's say 4 of them were family members. So he has 6 people in this congregation, right? So the women are in the back first. The woman appears to be, oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You're an evil spirit, that kind of thing. But I couldn't hear the actual words. Still didn't excuse him doing what he did to that woman. It was a lack of impulse control. She walked in front of him, and he instinctively grabbed her in her throat. This is not a man who is not accustomed to being abusive to women, because it would not occur to us, particularly because she embarrassed you in front of 10 people. Child, please. Here's the issue. The question I put in my thumbnail was, were these women sent? Sent is a huge word. If this by hook or crook or some strange occurrence, this thing ever did actually end up in court, that's going to be the primary issue. He's going to make this the primary thing, that these people have sent these women to disrupt his service, right? What is sent? Sir, when you have been bending over backwards for people to know who you are, and you have given the address on many occasions of this facility of yours, and you have invited people to come to your service, that is public, right? Anybody can come in. All are welcome, right? How do you think that you are not, if you're online playing these dirty games with the people online, right? Reading back and forth, you calling people fat and you call them faggots and all this stuff. You're doing all this kind of stuff, right? And you think that you're not going to incur the wrath of somebody in the city the size of New York City. I mean, come on. Now, even if these women did go down to your service and they did not like you, and they feel like you are an ambassador of Satan, or whatever they feel about you, they don't like you, they're filming your service. You said, they want to be on social media. Let them film. Come on up and talk to us. Come on up and talk. Then you go into this damn theatrics. Making these ridiculous sounds, sir. What I think you should do, instead of buying another Rolls Royce, because you're the type that has to update every couple of years, right? Go out and employ yourself an interpreter of tongue. Now, you may have to go to other countries to find these people, because as far as I know, they don't exist. But the Bible does talk about them. They had people speaking in tongues, an interpreter of tongue. Because we want to know what the hell you ba 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 ba. I hear you saying ba 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 ba. Now, what other language is that? Right? On the day of Pentecost. No, don't worry. I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to attempt to do that. I'm my place. When you bring attention to your giving, doing this event at, and you have got people who find you so distasteful, they don't like you. How are these people in charge of no one coming to your church? Right? You told them where it's at. Right? They know what you do there. They are opposed to what you do there. We don't know what these women's motives were. I could ascertain that they don't like you very much, right? I could see that maybe they did want to come there and cause a little confusion with you and your 10 people, right? but that does not excuse you assaulting someone. See, we're not allowed to put our hands on people. Even if there's a bar fight, they don't care about you cussing each other out. I called your mama a bald head. Called her, right? You can say anything you want to say. They're only interested in who put their hands on the other person, who punched them out. Now, usually it's confusion if there's more than one person involved because they're all throwing blows, right? But they consider the guilty party to be the first one to throw the first blow, right? That's the person who assaulted the person. The other person has a right to defend themselves. No one assaulted you, Whitehead. This whole story that you came up with after you realized that you should not have put your hands on that woman, you came back to the stage, and now all of a sudden she's lunging towards your wife. Well, in a room the size of that room where you were having your little service at, any movement could be perceived as moving towards your wife, right? When you're speaking out that way, we can't tell how big that place is, but that place doesn't appear to me to be any wider than this apartment. So if she walks from the back of the room where you invited her to come to the front of the room, she's obviously moving in that direction. So you came back with the story that now she's trying to attack you. And here we go with the baby again. Sir, if you are that insecure about your baby, why don't you just leave your child at home? If your baby's life is in danger, she can't understand what you're talking about anyway, right? So just leave her with the babysitter, right? Because everything you do is going to be blamed on this child. They all trying to come and get my family. They're going to get my family. Well, you should have defended your wife and daughter against these intruders that came in there and laid you down, right? No matter how you spend it, this video thing is dangerous, I'm telling you. We saw with our own eyes, the moment people walked through the door, you was face down in the floor. Face down. Right? Did you even know they had a gun? Nobody's even told you they were there to rob nobody. You got all that on your own. So ever since that day, before that day, no one had even heard of you. Now you feel like you're famous because you went viral for being robbed. I wouldn't want nobody to know I've been robbed. That's a very humiliating experience for most people, except for this clout chasing spirit. My last book is called damn, I forgot the name of my own book, girl. Murder to Be Sector. I did what's my new book called? Girl, I forgot the name of it, bitch. I get these brain farts. Deadly Wager. Deadly Wager is about a person like you, Whitehead. They'll do anything to go viral. I was bullshitting when I didn't remember the name of the book. Anything to go viral. And it becomes a very violent book, right? You want the fame. You want the fame and fortune. But you do not want to take responsibility for yourself. If you have just been robbed for between $400,000 and $1 million from that little ramshackle church, it seems to me that you would be able to pay somebody $15 an hour to stand at the door during your service, right? You still have no kind of security. I don't think that first robbery was any threat, right? You already had it all planned out. And now I see that you were wearing roped diamond necklaces again. The same thing they just took from you, you're wearing that again. You still have no security. You have no one that can even control an unruly woman. Out of 10 people, probably some of them are old people. I mean, and God, people, ladies, if y'all in that church, do not give this man your money. Okay? No matter how much he wise talk to you, because we still have to establish where he's getting his pool of money, right? We know he's a scam artist, but we don't know where he's getting his customers or his clients. We know he took one man that was going there, took his mother's money, right? So just be cautious and be aware. Anyway, back to my, I ain't say hello. Lord have mercy. I'm slipping in my old age. Lord, oh, hi, y'all. There's a lot of people here. Okay. I work for a home and I'm cooking lunch. Oh, you cooking lunch and listening? Thank you, Danielle. Danielle. Is it Danielle? Daniela. Maybe I got to sound out every word. Ain't that something? That's that dyslexia, baby. Uh-huh. Did he spangle? What the hell is spangle a sister? Is that what you doing? I saw his face, child. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these people who are showing the film, like you guys are on the side here, and the words or the chat is blocking what actually happened. All we see is him going in that direction, right? But no, he actually grabbed her in her throat like you would grab a chicken before you're about to murder it. And then there's one film where they show him actually walking her by her neck out of his facility, right? My connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. Make sure I'm on the right network. I'm on the right network. What y'all think? So I guess now he's doing some other kind of press conference. It's no need to listen to this stuff. It's the same old stuff, child. Whitehead, you are hooked. Just like if you are hooked on cocaine or heroin or some of these other drugs these people are using now, you are hooked on the clout. You're hooked on going viral. You feel like you like going viral so much during that robbery that you have been chasing it ever since. It's like when you do your first hit of a good drug, a drug that your drug of choice, something that just really rocks your world. Then from then on, you're chasing that same high. I equated with that. First time I did crystal meth, right? It was such a wonderful high. That whole weekend was so powerful, right? But basically, for the rest of the next 17 years, I was still chasing that same feeling, that same high, right? So that's why, Whitehead, since an hour after you got robbed, you had been chasing that high. You want to feel like that again. And you managed to somehow or other for 2 months, because, I mean, what is 2 months in history, honey? We'll forget all about you. But you don't apparently want that to happen. You want to keep that ass up there. Now, I would say that I don't know that you were planning on grabbing this woman in her throat, but I appeared on Larry Reed's page yesterday, and I was saying what he has is he doesn't have impulse control. In other words, when she walked back there, he just snapped at her, right? That's the way abusers do. Some of you women have had experience with abusers. You're talking to them, you say one thing they don't like, and all of a sudden they punching you in the face. Impulse control. He lacks that, which means he's more than likely an abuser. He is certainly an abusive person, right? And he was not going to let this woman come on here and rebuking him in his own church. I wish he would stop calling it his church, because it ain't no church. Now, I guess technically, because the early Christians would meet in houses, right? And there was their church. Their church was not the building. Their church was their congregation. But 10 people in a congregation, I was so amazed to see how few people were there in those chairs. And that includes the people who were working with him and all of the congregants and their kids. It all amounted to 10 people. So I think you should have just weathered that, Whitehead. I think the reason why I say you lack impulse control, because you knew this other woman was filming you. You knew it was happening. I don't think you're smart enough to be calculating that this would go viral. But if I knew I had cameras on me that were going live on the internet all over the damn world after my past experience of a month with the internet, I don't think I'd be grabbing women by their throats and walking them by their throat, where you've actually left scars. That means you weren't just restraining her. You really grabbed her in order to leave scars. You know, maybe you say on white people, it don't take very much to leave a scar. You know, the blood kind of rushes, kind of thing. But no, this is a black woman, and you left an indenture in her throat. And then at some point, and to me, it looks like the scar is actually bleeding. No, it was the blood. I know. Usually, the blood is what has the if it's a broken skin, is what has the cops locking your ass up, right? So we don't know if this is all for show since they got all these cameras on everything. But usually, if you done broke the woman's skin on her neck, they can see the bruises. They would, generally speaking, take your ass to jail. Now they did do that. They did take you down there, and I don't know why they kept her. They kept her for some kind of trumped up shit about interfering with a church service or something. I wish she stopped calling that thing a church. Whitehead. You're a con man, and this is your cover, right? A lady came on Jive's show yesterday in the evening. She said she knows you very well. And according to her, 3 years ago, you had 3 suits. To say 3 suits, we're not only talking about the fabric. That means no homes, no Rolls Royces, no Bentleys, no 500, 600 shoes, some pairs of shoes, no 1,800 suits. All this happened in the last 3 years, right? And more is going to come out, Whitehead. This building that you claim that you own, this city block that you own, 400, what was it? I forget how many units he had. But they said, no, that's not even the building. What he owns is a simple condo. So how did that all get confused? Whitehead, there's so much about you. Why are you bringing all this attention onto yourself? These 2 ladies are not your issue. Your issue is going to be with the Fed, with the IRS, with local, federal government. If you can't control yourself any better than that, sir, you do not belong in the pulpit. I'll keep it simple, right? Honey, I don't know what kind of women you had in there, but somebody should have stopped this person if she was rushing the stage. Key thing is, she was never rushing the stage. She walked by the stage, and I would guess rebuking your ass, right? And she may very seriously feel that you need to be rebuked in the name of the Christ, right? So you may not agree with that, and you may ask people in the service to help her out, escort her out, whatever. Or you may come off the stage and go and speak with her personally. That's what our pastor does, go talk to them, no matter how crazy they are, right? And everybody just kind of circle around the person and get the situation. But we can never just go out, just grab them in their throat. You did that so comfortably. You're used to handling women that way. And they say there was even an incident where you were talking to your own wife. Go sit down, I'm trying to preach. You're a monster. You're a monster and you're hooked. Junkie walking in the twilight. He's a long, long way from home. He left home 2 months ago. And y'all keep saying, why don't he kick it and quit it? No, but did you ever try to turn that damaged soul inside out so that the world can watch him die? Whitehead, Mr. Whitehead, I don't know what you told them police down there. I don't know how they're equating her walking around your church. That's more of a serious crime than you grabbing her in her throat. I don't know how that works. I don't know what's going on in your local government down there. I know you are kiss ass to police. You brag about, you always hollering about your daddy was murdered. What difference does that make, really? In current event, you throw that in. They come and tell my daughter. They come. Your little child is being used as a pawn. It seems like in every one of your situations, right? What was I just saying? But you as an ex-con, I'm an ex-con. Actually, I'm a multiple ex-con, right? But I don't do any crime. Still in the game. In other words, if I was still out there getting money in any kind of way, The last thing in the world I would want to do is draw the interest of the police. You may think you're friendly. We don't know. Cops tend to be assholes, really. A lot of them going to like regular people resent all that flash of yours. A lot of cops going to resent that too because they're busting their ass, girl, for $50,000 a year, right? The last thing you need to do is be up in the police face. You don't need to be seeing no judge about nothing. Apparently, you have the Fed on your ass. All of your business deals are all shiesty. They're all under scrutiny. You have brought the scrutiny of God only knows who. We know for sure the New York Post. Anytime these newspapers are taking an interest in you, and I see you're viral again, Whitehead. You're going viral again, right? It was a deadly wager. Available at Amazon.com by Timothy Blaine. Thank you. These guys will do anything. They started betting on it, honey. And Whitehead does like to bet because soon after his robbery, he was spotted at the casino laughing it up with the boys. Right? Anyway. So the original question was this. Were these women sent? And I would say my conclusion is no, they were not sent. But did they become aware of you because of your robbery? Even if they got it from King Jives, they got it from Larry Reed, they got it from TMZ, they got it from the New York Post, from the New York Times, wherever they became aware of you, they became aware of you, right? And you can't hold no single bloggers responsible because people who watch them have become aware of you. You chose to be the story, right? This is something you chose to do over and over and over again. You're giving press conferences about which nobody attended, about being robbed. You're going to turn this into now the whole damn country. We got to stand up for the pastors. Look what happened to the pastors. Look what they're doing to the. They ain't doing nothing to the pastors. They did that to you. They took your shit. They came in there and they took your shit. And since you are such a well-heeled man and so well connected in Brooklyn, it seems to me that somebody should have been caught by now. You came out yelling, screaming about how you're going to hire all these damn, you're going to give up $50,000 reward and all this kind of stuff, and how you know the mayor and all this kind of shit, right? And yet still, they can't find these 3 young people who robbed your ass online. No gloves, fingerprints all over the place. You showed a car. You say that's the car. What I saw was them walking across the street to that in that direction. But you say that was their car, the white Mercedes. You say that was their car. You have the license plate number. Yet still they can't catch these 3 young people. I say young because they're built like young people, and they move like young people. And right, and you seem to have a knowledge of them coming through that door. You better hope that these detectives don't actually take a look at that footage of your robbery, because it seems like the words that you said right before they walked through the door had nothing to do with the sermon. My observation. You were ready to go, down on them knees. What y'all think? Let me see. Strange. I mean, what was strange? Oh, they were strangle them. Yeah, he definitely had her in the stranglehold, honey. That ain't the first time. You ain't practicing like that. You done grab some women in their throat. Can we talk to your ex-wife now? I think it's probably the closest we're going to get to the truth. Right? I feel that wife of yours. Right? I know what an abuser is. For you to come, that to be your reaction, even though you know you're being filmed and you still can't control yourself. You can't control yourself. You are, you lack impulse control. We couldn't hear her because her purpose, he purposely spoke louder on the, oh, he pulled up Jay Wilson on her. Over talked to them woman. Be gone, son of Satan. Be gone. For the blood of Beelzebub. It sounded like she might have been rebuking him and his ministry. So she was hyped up. When she came out of the building, they walked her out the building. She was wanting her shoes and her phone and her stuff, right? So she might have had a feeling, right? You dealing with people, spirit in their spirit, you playing in their spirits and so forth. You don't know what you're about to conjure up, man. Maybe that's why the conjure up. Maybe that's why you came on here. I got a word from the conjure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was kind of emotional about it. Now, I don't know. Look at all that gray. Oh, I'm not gonna put that shoe polish in my face though, like some people. I'm just gonna go give me a trim job when I get through with this. Mm-hmm. Just wanted to say, Brooklyn, as a Brooklyn native, I misspelled Brooklyn. Oh Lord, have mercy. It's not surprising, honey. Without spell check, I'd be lost. I gotta go back. Because the girls would they make whole videos because I misspelled Brooklyn, child. Like I'm going to Brooklyn every day. Hold on. Oh, it got a Y. It's Y-N, not I-N. I got you. Thank you. Who is that? Brown Park Production. We'll take care of it, hey. I can't do it until I sign off, though. Mm-hmm. He's trying to block her purpose. Back to the bowels of Hades. Back to the bowels of Hades. He gonna come down. Those are tongues. My understanding, and I'm not a highly religious person, but my understanding of tongues is on the day of Pentecost. People were all hearing the same sounds, right? But there were all kinds of people gathered there. There were people from Asia. There were, of course, the Jews. There were all kind of people around there, right? From all different countries. And when these people started talking, they could hear and understand each other. So they were actually other languages they were understand that they had no prior knowledge of. That's why I say you need an interpreter of tongue, someone who speaks 14 languages. And those people do exist, right? Somebody who speaks several different languages. Maybe they can even do it with machines these days. And then to interpret that. I mean, if we put a recorder there and we run it through software that could interpret these sounds, like they have it all the time. And people speak in different languages, and they have machines where you can then know where the voice came from, what language is speaking. What if they will put that one of these machines on these people who said they're speaking in tongues, right? What is it? This is just jumbled sounds. I'm not getting anything. He's a bold old con man, honey. And the woman who was on there giving strong testimony yesterday on Jive's page, she was saying that he wasn't even interested in having no church 3 years ago. All this stuff came from 3 years ago because he hooked up with his current wife. She was the one that was involved in church. And he saw, okay, I'm going to be a bishop now, right? So, I mean, a lot of people come out of prison with a spiritual life. Sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't. I found God while I was in prison, right? Or I certainly became curious about church in prison. This man says he studied in prison and came out he got some kind of certificate in prison, but only a few months later, now he's a bishop. How did that occur? He became a bishop in the same way that he just became a doctor. He said yesterday that he just picked up his 2 PhDs. 2 PhDs? Man, you must have been one studying motherfucker, right? Considering all your shenanigans and your real estate empire, you're able to get 2 PhDs in the same day. Is that something like when you and your wife both became bishops on the same day? It's a miracle. We couldn't hear her because he purposely spoke louder on her mic, on the mic, to drown her out. Yeah, that's what Jay Wilson does when you go over his page. At least when I go over there. He even has the nerve to turn mine down. He can do it on StreamYard. Whitehead should not have taken the bait then. Not if you're in leadership, baby. If you're managing any kind of business, honey, you don't just, when they have a problem, you just go and punch out the customer. That's no damn conflict resolution. Don't they teach you conflict resolution in Bishop School? I guess he hasn't had. Then he want to compare himself with people like Joel Osteen. They don't go to Joel Osteen church. They don't go to Joel Osteen church. Why are you, Whitehead? Your whole church could fit in Joel Osteen's bathroom. What are you talking about? I'm not talking about the big bathroom with all the urinals. I'm talking about just a regular bathroom. Those 10 people could fit in a single person bathroom, honey. Joel Osteen. He's the Lutheran. He's the Lutheran, Andrew. Lord, honey, he's the Lutheran. You're hooked, Whitehead. You better get off of it, man. I'm telling you, look at all the excitement you got. The excitement came from you getting them handcuffs put on, boy. Don't you understand what's going on here? Right? And if the Fed do come, or the state police do come, or some kind of financial people come there in New York City, it's because you have brought all this attention on yourself. Right? Are you going to beat them all up? I bet you ain't going to be punching on none of them damn FBI agents. I bet you that goddamn much. You got brain problems, man. I ain't know in hell I'm going to sit there on that dirty ass street. Every time we see that street, is always trash all over the ground, right? So it's not even a well-crept street under that thing. But he seems to do it. Unstable. So if I have any problems, even if the woman was sent to disrupt, he had no right to lay hands on her. Right. I don't think Jobs and them sent anybody to do anything, child. I think they talked about what is current news, like I'm talking about it right now. Does that mean I'm telling somebody, oh, Timothy Blaine said, go to the church and rebuke him. No, we talk negatively about you because we don't like you. We think you're crooked. We know you're homophobic. See, when you think that okay, I'm just going there and call out them faggots and all this kind of shit, girl, people don't forget that kind of stuff. They may forget your words, but they will never forget how you made them feel, right? Because there are still people stuck on when you call Larry Reed a faggot, right? We don't forget that stuff. So then you got all these enemies in this thing that you're pursuing called social media, right? We know you're that. We know you're a crook. You're so flashy till it's sickening. It is sickening how flashy you are. And then when we see that all of these millions of dollars that you claim are coming out of 10 poor people, how does that happen? How does that happen, Whitehead? You shouldn't even have time to go to church on Sunday. Your ass supposed to be in there on them books trying to make them look right, trying to make sense of it all, man, because they're coming. Run, Johnny, run. Look, maybe I shouldn't say the word. They had a song. But the N words ain't what you have to worry about. Whitehead, no one sent them. Whitehead asked her to come so he can say it in the news, if anything. He told her to come up front. She was being disruptive in some way in the back of these 10 people in a room this size, right? He said, oh, you want to preach? Well, I can understand somebody saying, oh, you want to, because you're talking while I'm talking. You want to preach? Come on up. Well, if you're inviting her up, She could take that literally. Okay, you said come up front. Okay, I'm walking up front. I had no idea that you were calling me up front to choke me out. Why didn't you let the people in the back handle it, Whitehead? So now you're famous for strangling women. Lord have mercy. I would not want to be a woman in that man's house. I'll tell you that right now. Just the way he spoke to her, you know what time it is. He's one of the kind of motherfuckers think I can go and buy you a 8-carat diamond ring. That means I can do whatever the fuck I want to do to you. I just purchased you. No, you take that ring and stick it up your ass, nigga. I want you to treat me like a lady, so affectionately. I want you to treat me like a lady. Let me sing Whitehead's song. If I was your woman and you was my man, I'd be kicking you in your ass. I treat you like a pig. You don't want me to be your woman, nigga. You wouldn't be comfortable going to sleep. I bet you that goddamn much. Grabbing people in their throat. That'd be your last grabs, right? Why didn't you grab them niggas in the throat? When they left, didn't they leave? He said, after they left, I ran out in the street. I was looking for them. I would look. Don't they have the same guns that they had when they came in? And hell, they go into my baby face. Aren't those the same guns? So if you weren't gonna beat them up in the service, how in the hell were you gonna chase them down in the car and beat them up out there? I went looking for them. I was looking for them. This boy crazy. Does anyone know why those women are there? I have no idea. There are always some though. Sandra Michelle. All these churches, a lot of women. I mean, they just like that. I mean, I guess. I mean, we all know that churches really are very similar to YouTube. Certainly, this part of YouTube, right? Where they are predominantly women. There's a lot of men talking. And then in the church, it's all men talking. They would prefer to be all men talking, right? So if they don't have a husband or a head of the household and they're doing it all by themselves, whatever, they go down to the church and now this is their connection to manhood. So that's what I'm saying. This person is dangerous. You got somebody up here in look like a country pimp suit, giving you instruction about your damn life, right? Now, we don't know what's going on with this marriage of his. I'd imagine the woman was in a hotel probably because he didn't hit her, right? Now they say, oh, that's slander. It's scandal. No. I saw what I saw, and nobody's going to change that. You don't. Most men, it would never even occur to them to treat somebody like that, right? I've been an usher in my church for 20 years. We've had all kind of crazy people. We've had all kind of drunk people, high people. We've had belligerent people. We've had homophobes sneak in the church and all that. I have never even occurred to me once to grab anybody, even a man, in his throat like I own him. I can treat him any way I want to. No. You can't be in leadership if this is your personality. You shouldn't have thrust yourself into leadership, calling yourself a bishop and hanging all this junk around your neck, right? And then we want to drive car like TD Jakes or somebody, or Creflo Dollar, but you ain't no Creflo Dollar or TD Jakes or Joe Osteen. You ain't no mega minister. You talking about they want to get clout off you. What clout do you have? You have 10 people in your whole service. How much clout can you pull off 10 people? You went from those 10 people in the church to now you have the World Wide Web. And you got the tingle of success when you got robbed. You saw, oh my God, look at all these people. Oh, 56,000 people watched that video. Oh, that got 100,000 people. When you saw that million number, honey, 1 million people don't watch me. A nobody. I'm just a nobody trying to be somebody. A nobody like you. And then you got, because obviously your whole life is about being seen, right? No one's walking around in Brooklyn with all this junk on, like you dressed up like a Christmas tree, with all these labels, all from starting from your, you can get the matching hats all the way down to the pants and the shoes. Everything is bright purple, pink glasses, all this flash. It's because you want to be seen. You want someone to look at you. And you realize that, well, buying a Rolls Royce is not really going to do it, right? Because nobody really sees me in my Rolls Royce, except from the time I'm driving on the freeway. I mean, who really sees my car? That ain't going to do it. You got a little taste of this internet. You got a little taste of the social media, and then you're hooked. You's a long, long way from home. Hi, Elaine. How you doing, Elaine? Regina Laurie, OG Beauty. Does anyone know why those women are there? Okay. I don't know. You can ask any woman why she's in an abusive relationship, right? My mother made the mistake of marrying a man who turned out to be a psycho, but she was in and out of it. By the time she was 8 years old, she was done for the next 30 years. She was done. I mean, after you showed me who you are. She did eventually, fortunately, end up with a nice man, a good man. But it was a long time before she got over that. She didn't trust nobody. Nobody. So why do people stay in abusive relationships? I don't know. Perhaps he just goes in there and puts on a show in the congregation. Isn't that sincere or anything like that, right? Whitehead, I would suggest that you go into this office that you're pretending is in a church. It's not in the church. It's either in your house or in some office building you've rented, whatever. Go in there and figure out your finances, bro. Right? Because when if the Fed does come, allegedly, when the Fed does come, they want answers. And it's got to all be printed up. Right? So as far as trying to convince somebody that you are a big time mega pastor or you drive all this flashy shit, people are not impressed by that kind of stuff. Only the lowest of the low are still judging people by what kind of cars they drive, child. When you went to prison, it was because you had stolen a motorcycle and used someone else's credit and their name. In other words, you rode the and now you're out here buying Rolls Royces, Bentleys, and Maseratis. No visible mean of income. You said you had, because you were a convicted felon, you had lost the right to sell real estate in New York City, to be a real estate agent. You could not do that. That's where the majority of them make their money, right? So where's the money coming from? I read an article this morning, and they're trying to actually track. There are people, newspaper, I forget which one it was, who are actually tracking what does Whitehead. They're coming up empty, bro. They're coming up empty. This Whitehead's a state of yours. Apparently, there's trickeration. They said because your name is not on the actual lease of that complex. Did you just pick the name Whitehead from the buildings? Is that part of the scam? You think if a fool like me can't have these kind of questions, that the people, the agencies who are in charge of financial crimes are not going to have more questions, and that they're going to want receipts, real receipts. If they can catch Bernie Madoff, trust me, they can certainly catch your ass. You so sick of hothead, girl, in a month we won't even remember who that was. Right? He don't understand about this social media thing. Well, he might be like Andrew Caldwell. Andrew said, "I'm not gay no more." He been riding on the high wave ever since. Should have been a Texas lady. Bang bang. What is this? Bang bang. Well, Jives got mad at the lady yesterday because they could cause him trouble now. I don't think this lawsuit shit makes any sense at all. Why in the hell would there be no record of it if he had actually filed? He can't fight no damn. How you gonna fight a lawsuit with two people right? The lawyers see this number 20 million, although of course they don't expect to get any $20 million, but it's a high profile. He done made himself high profile in 2 weeks, 2 months, right? I don't think there's anything to worry about there. But by the ladies saying they come from they're from his channel, from Jive's channel, and then they are there, and then they're arrested there, and so forth, and they filmed all this stuff, right? He's going to go in there and say, look, it's a conspiracy. He sent them. They sent him there. They sent them there. No. I spoke about your case to people. I exposed people to you, right? And some people who live in your same town say, oh, I know where that is. Or what? Maybe they're building their own channel. This is a good story. I'm going to go in there and get it face to face, whatever. But by them being known from his channel, then it will connect him to that. I don't think it's going to mean anything, because he ain't suing nobody. Ain't nobody been served. Ain't nobody been nothing. He didn't got some damn a lawyer offline who was actually against him at first, till he saw a story in it. A lot of people will hop on. Yeah, they gonna make that boy somebody at his own expense, right? They'll throw him on. They said, well, we know he's going to jail at the end of this thing, but we go ahead and play the game. We file lawsuits and all that, and you just give us a retainer. I want a retainer for King Jives. I want a retainer for Larry Reed, but that's not the end of it, because these guys have not said nearly as much as all the other people have. I mean, yesterday there must have been 60 people on YouTube covered the story. So should we serve all of them? Okay, so we need 20,000 each for the lawsuits, which you're going to lose anyway. Unscrupulous lawyers, they don't care. They know you're going to lose and still take your money if you're dumb enough to give it to them. Mm-hmm. What denomination is he a part of, girl? There is no denomination. He is the overseer. That's a good question, Peter Pablo. I ain't said nothing about it. I know when he gave his news conference, there was not one clergyman, not one preacher in the whole city of New York City, biggest city in the United States, came forward to stand with that man at his. He's supposed to be preaching for them about the protection of the churches. Look what they're doing to our churches. Our churches are not safe. All based on him and his little corner that he rents for 2 hours a week. Nobody showed up. They don't want to be associated with you. They have no association with you. No one even heard of you before 2 weeks ago, right? You feel like it's like the old days. Black people used to do that shit in the old days. Everybody living in the ghetto, but everybody had a Cadillac. If you had a Cadillac, that means you were successful. That's how we judged success at that time, because it's all you can get. You couldn't get a decent house in a decent neighborhood. You couldn't get a decent job because people were so prejudiced and so bigoted, right? But one thing a person could get, they could acquire a car. And he's stuck in that mentality, right? He got the ultimate car, the Rolls Royce. Shipping them all out there, the Rolls Royce, the Bentley, the Maserati, right? And he thinks that's being successful. He's very much Jay Wilson. Although I don't know if Volvo's qualified Jay Wilson as bling bling. Just saying. Except for Jay Wilson. You definitely want to put hands on him, girl. I want to lay hands on me and pray, baby, and pray. Oh, Jay Wilson, will you please stop being an asshole? God help him. I heard that fool over there yesterday, child. He over there claiming he had a little panel going. They're going to think about the good times, nothing but the good times. Whenever I think of you, something goes to my brain. He had a little panel over there talking about the good times, right? What was I just thinking about? He said that I lost all these subscribers because they saw me talking to Jay Wilson in Atlanta, Georgia, right? So they wanted me to kill him when I saw him, right? When we arrived there, Ty's plan was to not let anybody know who was there, to put you in a room and to get the fire. And that's what they got, child. The initial, when we arrived there, it came off just like it happens on here. Everybody has enemies. Everybody hate each other. That's why they were flown there, right? But after hours and hours and hours of filming, the cameraman there, which I assume Ty would have had to send them over there, or say, "Listen, can we get some footage or a moment or two of you and Jay Wilson talking?" Right? So I said, "Whatever, I'm cool." I said hello, and so the question with, like, I sat in the chair, he sat in the chair. He said, "Well," he asked me, "Why is it that you hate me so much?" I mean, I didn't want to say I hate everything about you, girl. I just can't stand you, Jay Wilson. You make my blood boil. But I said, no, I really do not like your level of disrespect and the way you're talking about my personal income. I just find it so disrespectful. He said, "Oh, I can understand that. I can say, well, I won't do that anymore. I won't." Girl, we went back 2 weeks. This nigga started doing the exact same thing I just told him about. I want to kill his ass about, right? So yeah, the hate is real with me, between me and him. Now, does that mean that I'm going to go in there with my blowtorch and burn his feet? He could use some of that gristle burned off, but I'm not that type of a human being, right? Yeah, I will confront him like I did in Atlanta, right? If he acts too stupid, I'll punch him in his head, But I'm not going out there seeking to murder people. I'm not a killer, unless everybody has a breaking point. So that's why I wanted to know. I told Ty, I said, "Listen, I need you to tell me the truth, because I need to know what I'm walking into. Because I know the sissy going to call the police. I got to be able to stick and move. I got to be able to hit that ass and get the hell out of there, right?" I said, I want to know, is Jay Wilson, I didn't care about anybody else in that whole place. I want to know if Jay Wilson is going to be at this thing. And she told me at the last minute, before I was on my way to the airport, yes, he's going to be there. So I was already prepared. But at the same time, just seeing him sent me into a rage, right? Right? Yes, I would have fought him. Absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to hurt him. At that point, I didn't even understand the level of disrespect on YouTube. I still don't understand that. I never invited you into my world where you can talk about where my money comes from. You made comments about my mother, my aging mother. The hell's wrong with you? You will go and talk about my past and my background like I'm a piece of shit or something. Just total and absolute disrespect. Have I done anything to you? Have I done anything to deserve your disrespect? That's the question. What are there, 30, 40 people in the beef sector? I don't have this kind of relationship with none of them. No, because they're not disrespecting me on a daily basis. And the kind of things that he comes for, right? I'm a writer. I respect writing. I respect my brain operates in a creative way. I'm a creative person. For something like that to go pissing over my book, and then a couple of days ago he said, "Oh, I didn't run short on my book. I didn't run short. See, I ain't got no money." I said, "Nigga, did you pay out over $1,000 to publish the damn thing?" No, you came and begged for the entire amount. As a matter of fact, you started a GoFundMe and begged for $1,795 on GoFundMe to publish this piece of pamphlet. And then you came on YouTube and begged for another $2,000. And you have the nerve to suggest that I am begging? Because I said when I went to the bank, there was money in the damn bank. This was on the 20th. AdSense comes out in 2 days. It ain't like, "Oh my God, I'm so poor. I'm so hungry. My stomach hurts. I'm so hungry. I got to put." Girl, it was nothing like that, Miss Thing. I casually mentioned that what happened at the store, girl. And the people donated. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I always tip people. It ain't no big deal, honey. I tip people on here. I like the way I thought that was funny. I give them a couple of dollars. So what? It is you, nigga. It is you who are obsessed with money. And you have the nerve to say that I'm begging. So I beg for $20 for my book, to finish my book. I beg for $20 and you beg for $4,000 for a pamphlet. a pamphlet that has 1-page chapters. In this little thing he did last night, Heidi Fly said, "Oh yeah, I published." He trying to act like, oh, she read his book and she was so enthralled by this masterpiece of his, right? She said, no, I said one thing. I said that chapter 1 was 1 page, which is the truth. Chapter 2 was 1 page. Chapter 3 was 1 page. Chapter 4 was 1 page, right? He immediately moved away from that conversation, right? All deceit. I'm royalties from that book. You still get this thing. I am in the book business, girl. I am certainly in the self-published book business. You ain't getting shit from that piece of shit book. And when you say you got profit from it, girl, it's because you begged your way to the top, girl. And all the money you got out of that book, well, you got before it was even published, bitch. And then when you did publish it, you wanted the people who published it, you wanted them to buy the book. Excuse me, the pamphlet. And that's what it is. It will be classified as a pamphlet, right? A book, or at least a novel, is 45,000 words. No, a novel is 40,000 words. That's why I make mine 45,000. Make sure I'm out of the range of a novella. It is an actual novel. How, and probably more less than that, because a lot of it is just charts and stuff that you copied and pasted, right? But that's not the most offensive part. The most offensive part is you got the nerve to talk about somebody else's writing. The fuck is wrong with you? So that's what it is with him. It is the disrespect, honey. Now he goes on there, now he disrespects mostly women. He will come after him, but you're going to learn about respect, at least dealing with me, boy. I will never get tired. I will never get tired. Believe that. Anyway, how the fuck, like, oh Lord, it's like a disease. Just like that damn Whitehead is hooked on this damn clout and is going viral. I'm hooked on Jay Wilson. I got to go see my psychiatrist, girl. They said, girl, the psychiatrist gonna tell me, he gonna say, look, I got an exercise for you. This is head. This Jay Wilson head, right? And then you just go stab the goddamn head. Take it out. Get angry. Get angry. I'm angry as hell. I'm angry as hell. I want it. Now, do you feel better? Good. You ain't got to kill him. Nigga. All right, people. So here's the latest on this damn Whitehead character. I guess he went live today. He gonna make another press conference. Brooklyn Police Department, we gonna start looking at y'all ass if y'all don't stop this bullshit. How you gonna keep the woman and let him go? He's the one that assaulted her. She got a right to use her mouth. Hell, ain't it freedom of speech? It ain't like she was throwing chairs around the damn place, right? She's using words, spiritual words. He's over there saying, pop, pop. What was the words he was saying? Girl, I ain't got time. I will go in there and show y'all his tongues if I had more time. If I had just a little bit more time. Y'all have a wonderful Monday. I hope y'all have a great week. It looks like the sun, it's getting kind of stuffy. So maybe we'll get another hot day, but it's almost over. Praise God. Later, people.